Hello everyone, and welcome back to more Bloons battles. Hope you guys are having an amazing day, as usual. So yeah, as you can see, my medallions went up quite a bit. I am at 8,000 medallions almost. So I am almost to 10,000, which is great. Um, so yeah, I do end up getting a farmer because I'm going to be using farms since it's Bonanza. So I want to make sure I can use these farms effectively. This is a bit of an interesting combination that I got, or that we got, because this was R3 Bonanza. So we did get a Darling Gun, a farm, and then Buccaneer. So I wanted to make sure to use these farms to the best of like my ability, since they were one of the three towers. And we got Buccaneers and Darling Guns, which I was a little interested in, because I don't really ever use the Darling Gun. At this point I hadn't even unlocked him, or unlocked the Darling Gun. So I was kind of excited to use that, because in R3 Bonanza, in R3, the three towers that you're given, or that are chosen for you, you automatically get, like, them maxed. So you get all the upgrades and everything for them. So I started off with a Buccaneer, which I'm going to make into a Destroyer. I also figured out how to micro really well on PC. Like how to as you can see, like, I was upgrading the towers without even like clicking on them for some of the times. Which, if you guys want to know how to upgrade your towers without actually clicking on them, like just using keys to place and upgrade the towers, let me know and I'll make a video about it. Because I just found out, so because I was watching a video about it, so yeah. But he is beating us in the farm department currently, but we also are beating him in the Buccaneer department. Because we do have a destroyer, so I'm feeling pretty confident about the destroyer. We can't pop lead yet, but lead don't come for another 5 rounds, so that's not that big of a deal. But we are just going to keep placing down these farms because we want to get as many farms as possible, so we can just keep making more and more money, and way more money than he's making. Because the reason we want to be making more money than him is, well, the reason I place more farms down is because his farms were upgraded more, so I figured if we just place more down, it'd kind of even out. So that's the reason I did do that. But so far, we're doing pretty well. We just need this destroyer. This destroyer is doing great at taking out all the balloons. When the leads come, we obviously need to check out the Darling Gun. At this point, I was kind of like the thought process was like all of our Buccaneers that we were going to place down, all of them are going to be destroyers, even though we don't end up placing any more Buccaneers down. But if we were to have, they would have all been destroyers, not cannons. And the reason for that is because in the Darling Guns, I was obviously going to use those because they were one of our 3 towers. But I was going to upgrade the Darling Guns to the laser section, which is the left, regardless. And the left can pop leads, so there was no reason to make cannon Buccaneers. There would be more of a reason to make destroyers. Just so we can kind of get that max damage out, because cannon Buccaneers don't do as much damage as destroyers do against balloons, so or don't have like the best popping power like compared to them. Because obviously he's losing some lives right now because all he's using is the monkey Buccaneer, the cannon. So yeah, that's basically, I didn't really want to waste any of the towers, if that makes any sense. I tried to just get a drink and I just spilled it all over myself. But guys, look how much money my farmer is making right now. That's crazy. You can just see there's so many stacks of it that they just blend into each other. It's crazy. But yeah, we don't have that much eco, which is, I mean, I'm trying to rush him so I can kind of catch him off guard a bit, but he got a really good Darling Gun, so I wasn't really able to, yeah. He got a max Darling Gun, so he just started shredding the regen rainbows, so there was no way I was getting anything through then, but I did manage to get a few balloons through at the beginning, so it was nice. And technically it was a success because I did force him to put his money into his Darling Gun rather than like more farms or anything like that. But our placement for our farms actually ends up being better because we can actually fit more farms in our area. We can actually fit 6 farms in our area, and he can only fit 5. I mean, he can fit more, but they won't be in range of his farmer. But we can fit 6 in range of our farmer, and he can only fit 5. So, um, we will be making more money than him for the rest of the game, which is awesome. They already gives us like gets us one step um, ahead of him. So that's good. What I'm thinking right now about his kind of setup is his cannon buccaneer. No, is like no, because I feel like my strategy with the Darling Gun laser and the Monkey Buccaneer was a lot better. Or like the Destroyer, and the laser Darling Gun was a lot better than the Buccaneer Cannon, because the Buccaneer Cannon isn't really needed when you can get more damage output from the Destroyer. And then you can just use the Darling Guns to actually pop the leads, because you're already going to go for that upgrade on the Darling Guns. So, I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm trying to make it make sense. But currently we are making more money than he is, obviously, because we do have another factory, more factory than he does. So we will be making more money throughout the rest of the game, meaning we'll be able to get more towers down quicker. So that'll definitely give us a bit of a bonus, which is good. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing really else to talk about that. All we do is just kind of keep placing down more Darling Guns. I don't know why he keeps switching over. I don't know why he keeps like moving his Darling Gun lasers to the right side of the screen, because his factories are obviously already maxed out. So I don't know why he keeps going over there. Oh wait, he doesn't have a farmer, does he? That's right. He doesn't have a farmer, so he has to. This is actually interesting because I didn't notice this when I was actually versing him, but he has to move his Darling Guns off of the track to actually collect the bananas. So that actually puts him at an even more severe disadvantage now that he has to do that as well. I didn't actually notice this when I was playing him, as I said before, but that's a good detail. That's one of the reasons why you need farmers, especially when you play on like higher ranked players. I mean, I'm obviously not, because I'm not playing in very high like ranked area, I guess you could call it. So I may not be versing the greatest of players, but I'm just saying, like, that's why he could be very important later on. So right here, I believe I do send him as the OMG, and he actually does a lot more damage to it than I thought he did. So yeah, that's all there really is to it. He has 6 Ray of Dooms, which that's basically what we're going to fill up our screens with as well. But he actually just took out the ZOMG, and then we sent him another one, and this was actually a mistake because it severely like destroyed our eco. Not that we need it, because we have farms, so we don't really need that eco, because it was only 500 more extra every 7 seconds, which is not that much. But I still didn't expect him to pop the ZOMGs that easily. That's kind of crazy. Like, I know the Ray of Dooms cost $50,000 or so, but still, that power is kind of unbelievable. But as you can see, I don't think... Yeah, we're not beating him in the Dartling Gun department. We only have, I believe, 6 Ray of Dooms, and he has 8. So he's definitely beating us in that department. As well as the aircraft. He does have aircraft as well, and we do not. So that is something else he's beating us in. So right now, once we get to round 24, I do send back-to-back ZOMGs, which he actually does to us as well. But as you can see, it's not affecting them at all. I don't know how. Like, did you guys know Ray of Doom was this good? Like, that would just shred ZOMGs, and you'd have like 8 of them. That's kind of crazy. I feel like 8 Sun Temples couldn't even do this. And now I'm not saying a Ray of Doom is better than a Sun Temple, but I'm just... It's kind of crazy the power that they have. And notice also that he does have to keep moving back over to his farms, as I said before, to collect up the money because he doesn't have a farmer there. And that will actually cost him later in this game. Hint and wink wink. What did I just say? Hint, hint, wink wink. I'm tired, sorry. I say that a lot. But I do believe we now have more Darling Guns than he does, which is good. Makes me feel a bit more confident that we do have more popping power than he does. Do we have more? 4, 7... I don't even... Yeah, I believe we do. No, do we? I can't tell. I can't see if we have tower... No, we definitely have more, actually. I think we have towers on the other side of that track, too. I'm not really sure, though. You know, while we're on the topic... I mean, we're not really on the topic, but what is your guys' favorite kind of pop? Like Mountain Dew, Coke, Pepsi. I don't know why I named off 2 only. Pepsi, Dr. Pepper. I'm really interested. I could get like a toll going in the comments or something. You could put like vote yes for Mountain Dew or whatever, and then vote no for orange pop. Have you guys ever had wait, is it called orange pop? I've always called it orange pop, but I don't know if there's like a more sophisticated name for it rather than orange pop. But as you guys can probably tell, we have way more Ray of Dooms than he does, but he has way more Darling Guns. I mean, I'd rather have more Ray of Dooms than more Darling Guns, obviously, because we would be doing way more power, or a lot better. I meant like we'd have way more popping power. I just pulled on my cord because my cord's like 100 feet long for my headphones. But he's kind of all over the place on his side. He keeps like flipping his Darling Guns around like everywhere. Because he doesn't have a farmer, so he has really no choice. That's why you need farmers, especially when you get into these higher ranked games and stuff. Now, I'm not saying there's a higher ranked game. I'm just saying like that's an example why you need a farmer for these games. I'm drinking Coca-Cola. I don't really like the I don't know what to call it. Fizziness? No, I don't know. Like the bubbly texture to it. Like when you drink pop, or when you drink like Pepsi or Coca-Cola, there's this like bubbly texture to it. I just don't like it. That probably doesn't make any sense. But I like it more flat. I could have just said that from the start. I like flat pop rather than non-flat pop. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but that's how I feel about it. I just don't like pop that's not flat. I'd prefer it flat when I know most people wouldn't. My family kind of hates me every time I leave out the pop or something without the lid on, and it just gets flat. Which I then find out that that was the family's pop, so I just made everyone's day a lot worse by making their favorite pop flat. And if you guys don't know what flat means, it's basically where you just like leave it out. Like if you open the lid or something like that and then leave it out, the carbonation goes away. So like the bubbles or that bubbly kind of taste when you drink the pop kind of goes away. We're doing really well right now on Ray of Dooms. We definitely have quite a few more than he does, which I'm feeling really confident in. And at this point, I know for a fact that I'm not gonna be able to rush him with ZOMGs and actually beat him. So I'm just playing for late game at this point because I do, as I said before, I am making more money than he is for my farms, as well as I'm just making more money, so I can just keep pumping all these Ray of Dooms. I have to make sure the placement of my Ray of Dooms is perfect, so that I can have more Ray of Dooms than he can have. That's really my only chance of winning. So that's something I wanted to focus on. We are getting pretty late game though, almost around 40, which with just dartling guns, which is kind of crazy. It's not only dartling guns, like we have a few buccaneers here and there, but it's nothing that really changes the game. Excuse me, if you guys heard that. But yeah, I really didn't know Ray of Dooms were this powerful. I know in BCD6 I don't think they're this powerful. Or maybe they are, and I just haven't used them. I've never really used dartling guns because they're not really a tower that kind of pops out to you and says that we're great. I tried to use these dartling guns in a mode that, like a regular mode, not a club mode or anything like that. But I lost because I kept getting rushed. Because like dartling guns against Bloon Eco is not a very good combo. So I kind of got destroyed by doing that. Because you have to, unless it's in Bonanza, you won't really be able to survive with dartling guns against Bloons. Or against like Bloon Eco, I should say. Just a bit of advice for anyone that I can't even remember what I was saying. Excuse me, jeez, I keep hiccuping. This Pop's carbonation keeps getting to me. But what am I saying? Pay close attention to his side in these next couple rounds. Pay attention to like where he has to aim his dartling guns and so on and so forth. Because it does actually play a big impact. Where he moves his guns playing a big impact on whether he wins or loses. So, just saying that much. So, as you can see, I always make sure I follow the actual balloons with my Ray of Dooms. That kind of rhymed. But as you can see, he's moving his Ray of Dooms again to collect the farms. So he's not getting the maximum damage he can get out with the BFBs. And we are actually... Like, that extra damage on our side definitely helped, because we were popping them a lot quicker now. And on his side, they're making it a lot further, even though we do have, like, the same number of Ray of Dooms. His are making it further because he's not aiming at them properly. And that does cause him to lose. I don't know how he lost there, because I didn't see Bloons get through, but it must have just been lag. So, we are almost to 10,000 medallions, so I can't wait to get there. My next video or so will probably be me getting to 10,000 medallions and finally reaching the end of that road. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Thank you for watching, as always, and I really hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.